Hello everyone, welcome to the Outring. NATO accused Russia on Wednesday of increasing the number of troops it has amassed at the Ukrainian border a day after Moscow claimed it had begun withdrawing some of its military units. Western leaders have warned that they are yet to see evidence of such a move after a spokesperson for the Russian Ministry of Defense announced on Tuesday that some units having completed military drills near the border were already on the move. The Russian government released a video footage on Wednesday which claimed that military units returning to their permanent deployments after completing exercises. CNBC, the news channel, has not been able to verify any authenticity of the footage. Russian officials have also announced that troops engaging in military exercises in Belarus to Ukraine's north would also be returning to their permanent bases on February 20th. However, Western leaders have cast doubt on Russia's claims. NATO defense ministers are due to meet in Brussels on Wednesday to discuss what the military alliance has called, quote, the most serious security crisis we have faced in Europe for decades. Speaking to reporters ahead of the meeting on Wednesday, NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg said, quote, it remains to be seen whether there is Russian withdrawal. So far we have not seen any de-escalation on the ground. On the contrary, it appears that Russia continues their military build-up, he said. Stoltenberg added that Russia has, quote, always moved back and forth, so footage shows that movement of forces and tanks does not confirm a real withdrawal. Stoltenberg has said that NATO allies, quote, remained ready to engage with Russia. The Kremlin said on Wednesday that NATO was wrong to say that there is no evidence of Russian withdrawal from the border. Reuters reported, adding that President Vladimir Putin had a desire to negotiate diplomatically. Moscow later on Wednesday doubled down on its claims that Russian troops were beginning to head back to their permanent deployments, with Russian state media releasing a report that said tanks, armored vehicles, and soldiers had begun a 1,000-kilometer journey back to their bases. But Ukraine's Prime Minister Boris Johnson told Sky News on Wednesday that although the West has seen some positive signs from Russia, the intelligence we're seeing today is still not encouraging. We've got Russian field hospitals being constructed near the border with Ukraine and Belarus, which can only be constructed in preparation for an invasion, he said. So mixed signals, I think, are at the moment correct. Johnson told reporters on Tuesday that the British government would target Russian banks and companies with a very tough package of sanctions if Russia invaded Ukraine. This would include measures to prohibit Russian companies from raising capital on London's financial markets. Responding to Johnson's sanctions threat on Wednesday, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Moscow would retaliate if Britain did impose any sanctions, Reuters reported. Johnson's comments came after a warning from US President Joe Biden that Washington had not yet confirmed with Russia that they had withdrawn any of its military troops from the Ukrainian border. We have not yet verified that Russian military units are returning to their home bases. Indeed, our analysis indicate that they remain very much in a threatening position, he said in a speech at the and the fact remains that right now, Russia has more than 150,000 troops encircling Ukraine and Belarus and along Ukraine's border. Warning that an invasion remains distinctly possible, Biden added that any use of force by Moscow would lead to incredible human suffering. He urged Russia to choose a diplomatic path towards resolving the issue. Meanwhile, an anonymous senior Western intelligence official told Reuters on Wednesday that the risk of Russian aggression would remain high for the rest of the month. There are no credible signs at this point that there will be any kind of military de-escalation, they told the news agency, adding that Moscow could launch an attack on Ukraine with essentially no or little to no warning. Thousands of Russian troops began engaging in military drills last week in a move that was widely seen as a display of strength by Moscow. The drills came as more than 100,000 soldiers, tanks, missiles, and even fresh blood supplies had been moved to Russia's border with Ukraine. Moscow has repeatedly insisted it has no plans to invade Ukraine, despite warnings from Western countries in recent days that an invasion is likely to be imminent. Russia is demanding that Ukraine never be permitted to become a NATO member and said it wants the organization to roll back its presence in Eastern Europe. Since 2002, Ukraine has sought entry into NATO, the world's most powerful military alliance. The group's Article 5 clause states that an attack on one member of the country is considered an attack on all of them. Thank you all so much for watching. For further updates, please stay tuned to the Autumn.